reality.
Unite humanity?
Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
Do you think that it would unite humanity?
Good point. So I don't know for sure, but I can tell you, given how tribal we have all been, especially in recent years, where we are finding reasons to separate ourselves and then fight, to find life somewhere else might be the first occasion to unify Earth as a tribe of its own.
Well,
perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
New world order. This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. I'm sure most of you are going to get a kick out of this because I've been talking over and over about this mindset that the elites have had for a long time, this plan, right? And I'm not just talking about Project Bluebeam. I'm talking about in general the notion of life in space. And, oh, man, what's on Mars? And all of the predictive programming that we've seen through all of these movies that just are constantly showing us invasions from outer space. And then even recently, I played the clip, I've done it numerous times, of Ronald Reagan talking about how it would take an outside force to form a new world order or to form world peace, right? To bring upon a fake alien invasion or something along those lines, to unite humanity as one. Well, everybody's favorite, I'd like to say how I really feel about the guy, but unfortunately calling people even the slightest of names on here is bullying and hate speech, except of course if you do it to people like me. But nonetheless, Neil deGrasse Tyson, most of you are very familiar with this guy. He is one of the most, I mean, this guy, you want to talk about being full of crap. I mean, nothing that comes out of this guy's mouth is truth. Of course, he's praised by the liberals and everybody else. Of course, if you're somebody who believes in the flat earth versus the globe, you're familiar and can't stand this guy. This guy's involved in pretty much everything involving NASA. He's an astrophysicist. And here he is on Stephen Colbert talking about how an outside alien invasion could be the only thing to unite humanity. And of course, Stephen knocks on wood, hoping that's the truth, and the zombies in the audience applaud, hoping that it will happen, hoping that an alien invasion will happen so that we can all be united as one. You gotta be kidding me.
Do you think that it would unite humanity?
Good point. So I don't know for sure, but I can tell you, given how tribal we have all been, especially in recent years, where we are finding reasons to separate ourselves and then fight, to find life somewhere else might be the first occasion to unify Earth as a tribe of its own.
Well,
you can't make it up. Yes, let's root for, first of all, these people have been conditioned to believe that aliens exist, which is just comical, especially like I've said over and over, the people who attack Christians and go, well, they believe in something they can't see. And they believe that aliens exist because they get a few fake photos from NASA showing you turds floating in space and fake pictures of planets and all this other crap. Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson literally saying that, okay, well, an evil force, an enemy of the human race could come, and that's what it would take for us to all be united. People are like, yes! So let's have an enemy that we don't know, an unknown enemy from out there, and let's have them come attack us so we can all be united. I mean, these people are just so dumb. So dumb. And Stephen Colbert plays off of the, oh, he's a big into conspiracy kind of thing, but like he's just talking about the biggest false conspiracy that there is, the UFOs and the alien crap. He talks about, oh, how our government's blocking the ISS feed or whatever it's called from NASA.
as on the ISS feed, it says previously recorded. What do they not want us to know, Neil Tyson?
It is true that if it were aliens, the first thing they'd take out is your ability to monitor the Earth. I'm not saying it is aliens. I'm saying if aliens wanted to, like, first poke into our situation, they would make us blind and not have us see what we're up to.
No, I'm not saying the aliens are doing it. I'm saying that NASA is shutting it down so we can't see the aliens.
You know, pretty much hinting at, oh, the government's behind this conspiracy. They're hiding aliens from us. Of course, this would be the narrative that they all would agree. With all the conspiracies and things out there, this is the one they don't joke about with aliens, right? They joke about, you know, Pizzagate and all that other stuff, and they're like, that's just crazy stuff that's involving kids. They joke about kids all the time and eating them. Even have Colbert cracking jokes about, you know, the one, hopefully, you know, we can eat and be cannibal, you know, eat the aliens. I mean, the sickness, but we all know what these people were talking about. And this is the common theme, right? There's always going to be repetition with these themes. The theme of uniting the world as one, right? And obviously we know the Antichrist is going to come in the name of love and the name of peace, which is one of the deceptions that Christians just don't understand, because they hear love and they think of Jesus, which is fine, which is true, because Jesus, you know, Jesus is love. But this is a love deception, love cloaked and wrapped in tolerance and acceptance of all and everything, including 5-year-olds picking their genders and all this other nonsense that we see going on in today's world. Neil deGrasse Tyson, meanwhile, is on here. And this guy is another one of these guys, you know, which is part of this front, the Me Too movement, accused of sexual misconduct and all this stuff. It's funny how hypocritical all these people are. They're like, so-and-so, we have to blacklist him. He's never allowed to be on TV again. But, you know, they have to have Neil deGrasse Tyson out there because of what he stands for, which is, you know, pumping NASA, pumping life on other planets, mocking anybody who believes in anything other than what they're told from their science books. And, you know, just going over and over, making up just complete, utter nonsense. Neil deGrasse Tyson is probably one of the dumbest people to ever live, but he's also one of the smartest. Now, dumbest because the stuff that he says is completely nothing but utter lies, but smartest because he's just knows how to work people. And what he does is he works the audience. And the audience believes in all this crap that he says. He's got 13.5 million followers. So he's gauged into talking to all of his followers and continuing to promote NASA and promote, you know, space and promote life on other planets and saying we know that there's life on other planets and, oh, maybe the government's is hiding it from us. And then him saying, you think the government's smart enough to do that? I mean, it's an utter joke that this is even going on. Right? This is a job. Astrophysicist. Where are the aliens? Can somebody show me them?
Gentlemen.
Oh, they're hiding it from us. Right. They're hiding it from us.
Space rocks?
And you can see him. Oh, happy see on his Twitter. He talks about the September equinox. Right? I mean, talking about equinoxes and solstices. I mean, you don't even get to a point with these people where they are rational. They're always just. It's you know, they speak and it's the same tactics that, and they're mind control tactics that like the Satanic Temple use. They like to speak in terms that you wouldn't understand, and then they'll go like, oh, we're not killing kids and we're not doing this stuff, you know. What we are is we're a political organization that values the equality, you know, and then people are like, oh, okay, that sounds like they're really good people. Yeah, they all do the same type of deflecting in how they present themselves, and then always deflect with humor when it comes to anything that's questioning the narrative that they're pushing. Because that's the only way they can deflect. And like I said, you know, you go from Ronald Reagan talking about this. This has been the plan all along, was to create this. This is why when movies first came out, it was like what do you think? Somebody just suddenly was like, is there life in outer space in like 1940, 1930s, 1950s, silent movies? Oh, yes. And then we have Star Wars, Star Trek, you know, the things from outer space, Life on Mars, Independence Day, War of the Worlds, movie after movie after movie, convincing people that there's life out there, and then all these people actually believe it because they're, here, look, here's a picture from NASA, right? And they don't understand that the whole goal of this is to bring upon a new world order and to unite nations and then to bring upon the Antichrist. But people don't want to believe that. You know why? Well, one, because people don't believe that God and the devil exist. They don't believe that an Antichrist is to come because they've been completely brainwashed by the school systems, by fake science, fake history, and the fakeness that is our world. They've been pushed inside of a matrix that they believe is the way to live and operate They sit on their phones. They get fed information 24/7 that's nothing but lies and useless, pointless, selfless promotion of crap, where people are taking pictures of their toenails and posting it on Instagram and on Facebook, and they're too busy with themselves to actually investigate these things because they trust and believe in their government. They trust and believe in NASA because they've been told. Now, who told them? The news, the mainstream media, the school systems, their textbooks, their favorite celebrities, their influencers, right? Who come out and they go, oh, you know, vaccinations, these people who are anti-vaxxers are dangerous to society. Oh, these people who question the narrative are going to start, you know, some type of crazy war here on Earth because people are going to get all riled up and they're going to go to Comet Ping Pong and do something about it. That's all these idiots need to hear. And they get socially engineered and socially conditioned. So here we have it again, the same story, the same repetition of the narrative of how alien invasions could bring us together as one. Oh, yes, let's applaud, audience. That's exactly what we need. We all need to come together as one. Who's the one who divides all the nations? Who's the one who divides humans in general? That gives us, just like he just said in the clip, right? He's like, oh, we've got like the, you know, this tension of culture on one side and the other, and everybody's kind of bickering and pretty much talking about the left versus the right is pretty much what he's saying. Right? Keeping people divided. Who do you think the ones that do it are? It's the media. It's the false paradigm of liberals and Republicans. It's all a facade. This isn't a republic. It's a science experiment. And guess what? We're the experiment. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.
So, in Jesus Christ we're one, but that is for the sons of God who have bowed the knee to Christ and been born again. And everybody's invited to that party, although not everybody does that. So then you have the unity of people from every different religion and walk of life that are all worshiping the God of this world. And he wants unity, but not with Christianity. Although sometimes they do try to blend things into corrupt Christianity at its core. But you definitely have a game being played here of all this timing-oriented, different shows, different people, all trying to seed you with these concepts of unity, unity, unity. And even Roseanne was talking about a tribal-oriented repentance. Do you remember that? It's here in this video right here. Roseanne's transhumanism, Kabbalah, prepping Earth to accept the Jews as divine. She said that. And a false peace, and they're celebrating Yom Kippur right now. And this also connects in then with the story that I was sharing with you, and I'm going to keep going, that thousands of Christians in Israel are there for the inter-religious festivities with unbelieving, Jesus-rejecting Jews. So do you see how there's 3 examples for you perfectly that show how there is this coordinating effort to seed you into this support of going along with this satanic unity, where Paul and Jesus told us very clearly, I don't want you yoking with unbelievers because deception is coming. You think he might have known what he was talking about? But they keep saying that we don't know what we're talking about. Well, you know what? You can only just fit so much in there, right? Well, there. That's how it's going to have to be. So anyhow, that is the agenda, and it's being repetitively brainwashed into those who are listening. So let's do a video going farther in depth into Lance Walnu and his professional propaganda PR oriented, focusing you into yoking with unbelievers and forcing you against your will to be manipulated into a system where you do not take Jesus as your authority, you take Israel and unbelief, and you have to believe everything she says, thinks, and does, and you're not allowed to proselytize them. You're being tricked, and there is a whole thing here full of exactly, perfectly explained out how they do it. So the whole thing is there. People cannot say they weren't warned if I, tried to expose you to these concepts that go counter to what the TV churches are telling you. I've explained it all out. And over here, a vigilant citizen, mind control theories and techniques used by mass media. He will explain to you, as a Muslim that rejects Jesus but understands the occult, he will explain to you in this extremely long article exactly how it's done. Exactly. There you go, Edward Bernays, how you're being sold a lie.